Hey everyone, welcome to this week's edition of the COMM 2095. We're talking about entertainment education or entertainment persuasion, how the entertainment industry, television, radio, film, comic books, graphic novels, help to inform us about things that are going on in the world around us every day. When I was growing up, I wasn't exactly Mr. Popular. Probably not a big surprise to many of you that are watching this or have been in class with me. But I always related when I was younger to Peter Parker and Spider-Man. When Stan Lee created Spider-Man, he did this because he wanted younger viewers to feel like there were people listening to them. Peter Parker was bullied. Peter Parker was the nerd. He was the geek. He was the person who was very smart, but wasn't exactly Mr. Popular. He had friends, but he was pretty much kept to himself and did his things like chemistry and science, etc. When he got bit by the radioactive spider, he obviously had more abilities and became Spider-Man. However, while I couldn't relate to the Spider-Man side, I did feel a connection with Peter Parker because I was picked on, I was bullied. And to read his travails every time I would pick up the comic, it made me feel a little bit better. Sure, I was never going to be Spider-Man. I'm not going to be swinging from New York City and climbing walls and stopping Dr. Octopus, but it did make me feel like there was someone listening in some way. And that's the way I look at it from a lot of perspectives is while there's not the Incredible Hulk or Thor or Captain America or even Superman or Batman, um, there are ways that we can relate to the things that are going on in entertainment. I brought up the Grey's Anatomy example from 2017. It was an episode that I remember vividly. It struck me not only watching it, but then emotionally as well. I had never known anyone that was raped, but having been in television and radio and in the media, clearly I have read and covered events where people were raped or allegedly raped. And what happened in that episode was factual, that those things do happen. And so when Rain saw an increase in mentions and people calling their hotline, it was not so surprising because we've seen examples like this over time where movies or television shows or something that comes out in a story, whether it be a short story or a book, affects people in many ways. I'm sure you can think of something that you have seen or watched on television or a movie that you've seen that has made an impact in your life, that has made you think twice. And while I brought up the example of Captain America, and while I have the shield, but I don't use it every day, what he stood for, what he stands for, is exactly how I feel at times. Yes, I don't like bullies, but I'm not going to just fight someone because I hate them. It's because I want to stand up for the little person. Or, no, you move, that quote I talked about from the comics. Those things make an impact on me. But so are the films that I've watched over my life, like Apollo 13. There were mentions in there that were just for Hollywood. But it was something about that film that inspired me to want to do more and want to be better. It educated me on what happened in those events because I had only read Jim Lovell's account in his book to see how it happened all together and then read the stories that I had read growing up made me realize just how close to death those folks on Apollo 13 were in the 70s. We need education from entertainment, smart education, not spin, not wrong facts. We need a way to show people that you can learn something not just by watching your own lives go by, but by what other people have gone through or how the events of something in a movie or a show can help affect change. Sure, it's not all true all the time, but if there's something in a movie or a television show that drives you to change or make a difference in some way, then being educated by entertainment is a good thing.